Welcome back, 8th grade. Again, you see the purple. But here we go. Solving equations by multiplying or dividing. Now, doing addition and subtraction earlier today and multiplying and dividing, hopefully you keep them the same. But they're still one-step problems. They're still inverse operations. And we've pounded that into your head the last 2 years, so that'll make this year go easier. So, we've got all these phrases. It's good practice. Hopefully you read through them and do them. Problem of the day, well done. And solve equations using multiplication and division. You can solve a multiplication equation using the division property of equality. All right. You can divide both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number, and the statement will stay the same. 4 times 3 is 12. Well, if I take 4 times 3 divided by 2, oh, I get 6. 12 divided by 2, oh, I get 6. It does stay the same, and we have the proof. All right, so this is one where we have 6 times x equals 48. So we have multiplication here. How do we undo multiplication? Hopefully you remember we use division. So if I take 6x divided by 6, I take 48 divided by 6, because doing the same thing on both sides. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I don't have to write 1x, I can just write x, that's what I wanted. 48 divided by 6 is 8. 6 times 8, that does make 48. All right, so we've got that method, we've got that process right there. We'll see them put it into use here. Divide by 6, divide by 6. We get the variable by itself. With it being 1x, we don't have to write the 1x. And then we get x equals 8. When we plug it back in, it works out nice and dandy and fine. All right, again. Now, this is the one where I see you guys making mistakes. Negative 9 times y equals 45. Now, this isn't hard, but you have to remember we want to get it to 1. Not negative 1, but 1. All right? So I'm going to divide by negative 9. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. So negative 9 divided by 9 is 1y. I don't need the 1, but I can write it there. That's what I want. But remember, you must divide by that same negative number so you get a positive 1. Do the same thing to the other side. Negative 9. Do not forget the negative. Do not forget the negative. If you forget the negative, not good. 45 divided by negative 9 is negative 5. Y equals negative 5. And negative 5 times negative 9 gets us a positive 45. We've got our answer. They're baby stepping us into it, but we'll go on. All right, so we do that. You can see what they did. Here we go. Divide by the negative 9, divide by the negative 9. So we get 1 equals negative 5. We check it, and it does check out nicely, and we get 45 for both. All right, here, 9 times x equals 36. Hopefully you see. Pause it and do it on your own if you want. 9 divided by 9. Oh, so we have just x divided by 9. X equals 4. Oh, not so bad, right? I really think you guys have this from last year. We spent a little extra time on it, so hopefully it'll be easier this year. All right, and we've got those things we need to do. All right, it does check out at 36 apiece. All right, don't forget, if it's a negative, we have to get it to positive 1. So you divide by that exact same thing, which would be negative 3 in this situation. Do it to one side, you got to do it to the other side, because negative 3 divided by negative 3 is a positive 1. Oh, they're gone. Y equals positive divided by a negative. You can use the chart over there. All right, that makes for negative 12. Negative 3 times negative 12 is a positive 36, and we're good to go. All right. We do the same thing they did. Yes, we did. And we check it out, and it works beautifully and nicely and grand. We can do the same thing with multiplication. When we see division, we use multiplication to undo it. And 2 times 3 is 6. So 4 times 2 times 3 is 24, just like 4 times 6 is. So if we multiply both sides by the same number, we keep that scale balanced. All right, here we go. We have division. How do we undo division? And please don't let the problem, the way it's written, mess you up. -4 equals 5. I like to think of it as 5 divided by 1, just so I have a fraction on both sides. So what do? I multiply by not just 4, but -4 over 1. Oh, then they cross out. -4 over 1. Oh, they both have the same denominator, so I really don't need that. 5 times -4 is -20. And we've got our answer. -20 divided by -4, that is a +5. We'll go through and we'll check it again. All right? Let's go ahead. All right. We see the division, so they multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. I put the placeholders in there to show the fractions. It helps me. Maybe it helps you. Okay? We do that, and there we go. We have our 5. Here, again, C divided by -3 equals 5. I like to put it over 1. It helps me there. You don't have to, but then I know to get to a +1, -3 is the number I have to multiply by. Multiply by the -3. That's -15. I'm sorry, my board's not writing real well. And there's C, -15. -15 divided by -3 is a +5. It works out Jim Dandy fine. All right, and here we go. Let's make sure what I did is the same as what they did. Times -3 times -3. Remember, don't forget the negative. We need it to be a +1. So negative times a negative makes a positive, and we're good. All right, we put it in, and it does check out. Now, other things they'll do, they'll put them in word problems. To go on a school trip, Helen had to raise $670, which is 1/4 of the amount she needs. What is the total amount she needed? Well, to do that, fraction of amount raised so far times total amount needed, which we don't know, and equals the amount raised so far. Okay? So we put those things in. 1/4, she needs to raise 1/4 of the total money. Total money, we don't know. So that's the X. Then we know she's raised $670 so far. All right? So there's the equation. Now we can do the work. I like to think of it as over 1 times 4, just a regular 4, because that's positive, that's positive. Oh, good. Now we have X times 4, since that's what we did on the other side, to remove that 1/4. All right, so 670 times 4 is 0. That'd be 28. All right, that's 224. $2,680 is the total amount needed for her trip. All right, let's go ahead and make sure what we did is the same as what they did. My math wasn't mistaken. So we've got those numbers. We multiply by 4 on each side, and we get 2,680. Probably want to put dollars with that. All right. So the amount raised so far is about 700. She needs about 4 times this amount, or 2,800. We don't need to do round numbers because you've got the solid straight number. All right. So the school library needs money to complete a new collection. So far, the library has raised $750, which is only 1/8 of what they need. What's the total amount? All right. So fraction times total amount gives you the amount you already have. We want to know, so we put those in. There's the equation. All righty. We're going to multiply. Can anybody guess? Times 8. Now, is it positive 8 or negative 8? Hopefully you realize it's positive 8 because they have to be positive 1. All right. So X over here times 8. All right. If we think of it, so that would be 0. $6,000? if my board will write. All right, that's what I come up with. Let's see. $6,000. The library needs that total. All right. Now, sometimes it is necessary to solve equations by using two inverse operations. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. For instance, the equation 6x minus 2 equals 10 has multiplication and subtraction. 6x minus 2 equals 10. We're going to turn our PEMBAS charts upside down. We will work on getting the exponent the variable all by itself. So we'll remove the 2. Add 2, add 2. Inverse operation. This goes opposite. Since we're going backwards in solving, we go backwards on PEMBA. We look at addition and subtraction first, then multiplication and division. All right, those are gone. So we had 6x equals 12. We have multiplication here, undo with division. X equals 2. All right. 2 times 6 makes 12. 12 minus 2 equals 10. It does work out. So when we're doing a two-step problem, we use PEMBAS, but in reverse. Okay? So that's the multiplication, that's the subtraction. All right, variable term, that's what we're trying to get by itself. We want to isolate that. All right, so when we have a problem like this, we see addition, we see multiplication. Since PEMBAS is like flipped on its head, we got to look at the addition first. How do I get rid of this? Add 2, oh, I subtract 2. Subtract 2. That's 12. There's the 3x. Now we have division, or multiplication, so we use division. Divide by 3. X equals 4. And if we put it back in, 12 plus 2, that is 14. Good and dandy. All right. We move on. Step 1, they're going to show us here. Subtract 2 from both sides, because remember, PEMBAS is flipped on its head. All right. Then step 2, we undo the multiplication with division, and we get 4. All right, here, hopefully you're seeing, Carson, that we need to subtract 5. Subtract 5. So there's the 24. Didn't do anything with that. 4y equals 24. There we see we have just the multiplication left. We get rid of that by division. Divide by 4. Y equals 6. Remember, PEMBA's in reverse. Subtraction first, then do the division and or multiplication. 24 plus 5 is 29. It does work out. All right? Step 1, let's see what they do. Here we go. Put it in, and we subtract first. Step 2, we do our division. Divide by 4, and we get 6. And that's what we're looking for. All right, this is what we're working with, guys and gals. Some of those will be at the end. If we have struggles, we can always talk about it, but I think you'll get it.